I'm going to show you how to make this nice loopy necklace. It's so easy, but very effective. It's got lots and lots of movement in it. It hangs really nicely when you when you put it on the neckline, and as I say, it moves a lot, and that's what you're looking for in jewellery: movement, texture, all those things. They just add to your design. So what I did first was make all these little loops, and then I added jump rings. So you'll need jump rings, size 11 seed beads, your pearls, jade and tourmaline. You need your thread, beading thread of your choice, a size 10 needle so that it goes through the pearls. I used little clamshells for the end of the necklace, and then took jump rings and chain to go around the back of the neck, and also a nice little toggle clasp just to finish it off. So I'll move that out of the way and show you how I made the loops, although I think it's probably self-explanatory. Let's move that out of the way. So first of all, I used 25 seed beads. I'll pick those up. I've put them in 2 piles so that you didn't have to listen to me counting up to 25, which is can be quite tiresome. I know when I watch demonstrations with seed beads, and there's an awful lot of counting goes on. So I've pre-prepared, because it's all right if you're using 4 or 5, I don't mind counting then, but when you're using 25 at a time and you've got to do that twice, that's quite a lot of counting. So here we go, we've nearly got the first lot on. So there we've got our first 25 seed beads on, size 11 galvanized silver, these are that I'm using. So we're going to leave that there. We now want our pearl, our jade and our tourmaline. So we're going to take the pearl first. There we go, like that. Then the jade, then the tourmaline. There we go. Oh, if I can find the hole. There we go. Okie dokie. So let's bring that up where you can see it. We're now going to go back through those, but we're going to miss out the tourmaline. So we're going to go through the jade and through the pearl and out the other side. There we go. There we go. And if we pull those up towards the seed beads, tighten those up, get a nice tension. And there we go, we've got our one side of the loop done, our beads on the bottom, and now we've got to pick up the other 25. I'll proceed to do that, and then we just make the loops. It's quite nice to just sit and make all the loops. I made all the loops before I started assembling the necklace all together. Sorry, excuse me. There we go. I won't sing. My singing's worse than my counting, so I won't put you through that. There we go. Just a few more now. There we go. So we've got our 25 on the other side. There we go. We now knot those. I knot once and then I do a double knot just to make sure it's secure. Pull that nice and tight. There we go. So what I did then was I took my needle back through a few of the seed beads. You can knot it again then if you want to, I didn't, because I was happy that it was secure at the top. So I took it through a few. What I also did was thread this other side with a needle and thread that through, but for demonstration purposes I'm not going to make you watch me thread a needle, so I'm just going to snip that off for now. Okay, so what we did is I made 22 loops. And what I did then was popped on a jump ring onto each one. I can do that now. Pop a jump ring onto that one. So what I did was I basically got all my elements all ready before I started the necklace. So we'll pretend I've got 22 of those, right? What I next did was take my clamshell, and I've only got a short piece of thread here because I'm just going to show you how I did it. So I've wrapped that around my finger twice. You can also, when you've put this in the clamshell, you can also pop a dab of glue on if you prefer, just to make sure it's secure. There we go. Take that end off. Right. So what you do is, for this end of the necklace where you started, you go through the clamshell from the inside to the outside so that your knot sits nicely in there. Now, I would make that, personally, I would make that knot bigger. Or what you can do, and actually, I'll show you this. I'll take that off and I'll show you another little trick that you could use. If I can find a little seed bead. Should have plenty of those knocking about. There we go. There's one. So we take a little seed bead, pop that onto the knot. Now that knot is not going to go through that seed bead, so you can then thread that through your clamshell. It's just a little trick that you might find useful at some point. There we go, and then that's it. So I'm going to trim a little bit of that, the end of that knot off there. I'm going to cut the knot off. There we go. So we've got a knot, a little seed bead, and the knot is not going to go through that seed bead. So what we do then is we take our pliers. Actually, I like to start this off with my fingers because they are really, really soft. So you can just start bending them over with your fingers. Take your flat nose pliers and start to very gently work those together. Like that. There we go. Now, when you press those together, I always find that there's a little gap at each side, and my little trick to get rid of those gaps, now if you watch carefully, if you get your pliers and there's like a little hinge at the bottom, if you squeeze that, the clamshell closes up. And if you do it the same on the other side, I'll try and show you again, and I'll try and show you a little bit closer. There we go, let's get that there. There we go. And if I squeeze that, you should see that gap close up. There we go. And it's a much neater finish, in my opinion. So what we did next was, let me get this in front of us so we can see. And it's all really, it is a matter of just assembling now, to be fair. So you've got your little clamshell on the end, which is here. So what we do now is we put on our pearl, then we go through our jump ring like that, and through another pearl like that, and you carry on doing that, pearl jump ring until you've got all your loops onto your necklace, and then you put another little clamshell on the other side. So I'll put that to one side now, and I'll show you on this one. So what I did then was your clamshell leaves you a nice loop, so I just put a jump ring on there, a chain and a clasp with 2 more jump rings. Now what I found was, the first time I did this, I did try putting on all the pearls and then trying to fasten the jump rings while they were stranded, basically. So they were quite nicely packed together, and by the time you've put on 22, did I say? Yeah, 22 loops, it takes up all the room between the pearls, and you actually can't get in to fix your jump ring. So I suggest you put all your jump rings on first, then add them as you go along, as I have just done. So hope you like that, hope you give it a go,